The current sitting council member has said after the 2017 election that he needs to focus more on the community than on business interests.
Yes. In the article that right after he was elected, he said that now he wants to listen to the community, which means that the first 8 years in office, he did not listen to the community. By his own admission that he did what he wanted to do and was led by the business elite. I feel that's a disservice to the community. That is not what he was elected for and elected to represent. When I was elected in 2015, my first priority was to the community. It was to go in and do the things that I had heard meeting after meeting after meeting that had not been done, and to resolve those issues that would improve the quality of life for residents, whether it was effective code management, whether it was effective cleaning up illegal dumping areas, dealing with loose dogs, and just beautification projects throughout the district. These are the things that people wanted that had not been addressed, and that's what I sought out to do. And that's why Shingle Mountain was so passionate, or it was such a passion for me, because it is something that the community needed. Their concerns are my concerns, and I take it personal when residents are having problems and it's looked upon as though it's my fault or under my leadership, I'm responsible for it. You elected me to take care of that job, and that's what I want to do.
So we will talk with me about education, your priority in this community as it relates to education and some of the controversy behind charter school.
I'm an educator by profession. I teach entrepreneurship and accounting at Duncanville High School, and I've been an educator for 9 years now. I believe in education so much so that one of the areas that when Growth South was active was the education corridor. And I was actively involved in making sure that the education opportunities were going to be afforded to the individuals here, and a way to be able to lift individuals out of poverty and for the betterment, not only for those individuals, but for our community as well. Hoping that those individuals would graduate and then bring those talents back. So in order to do that, we had to have jobs for them to go to. Now, there's a controversy. And if you were at the Monday Night Politics, you heard me address what I call the elephant in the room. There's controversy on a proposed charter school that's located off of Camp Wisdom 35 that I did vote for because it was a zoning issue. Now the controversy is twofold. One about the particular charter school and the proliferation of charter schools in Southern Dallas. By all means, I do agree that there are too many charter schools located in Southern Dallas, concentrated in one area. I agree and wholeheartedly support Senator Royce West's efforts to try to stem and control and reduce the number of charter schools in a particular area. Wholeheartedly support that and agree with it. So much so that there was a particular charter school that wanted to open up in Highland Hills. And I told them no, I would not support them. After several meetings, they insisted that they wanted to continue the process, and I told them that I would not support it opening up. So much so that they wanted a meeting. They just were relentless about a meeting. And I said, okay, fine, I'll give you a meeting. I'm going to let the community tell you what I'm telling you right now, that they do not want a charter school in the area. I invited DISD to this meeting. Now, why is that significant? Typically, when an applicant makes application for an SUP in this case, which is a special use permit, which schools have to have in order to operate, whether it's a charter school or DIS, Dallas ISD, for that land to be zoned for a special use for a school, that it is uncommon for an applicant to have their opposition in the same meeting. Typically, an applicant will just present to the community what they're trying to bring to the community, and they will listen to the community in terms of their wishes, their desires, whether they agree or not. But this particular one, I invited DISD to come to the meeting so DISD could present who they were to the community and boast about the good things that are going on that had never been done before. When I was a planning commissioner, and since then I have never seen that been done. So much so that the community at the time of the meeting, it was overwhelming support for the Dallas ISD schools in the area. They got the point. They withdrew their application and the school was never built. The controversy of the one on Camp Wisdom came because there was a voting procedure that was done at the time of voting. Prior to the vote, I had canvassed my area, my district, which separates District 8 and District 3, north side of Camp Wisdom, where the school is located, and the south side of Camp Wisdom, which is District 8, was the area that I represented. I walked the immediate community, knocking on every door and asking residents, would they support school, yes or no, and answer any questions they had about it. Majority of my residents said they would support it and asked when it would open up. I followed the wishes of my community. That's how that school came to be. When we were voting on this particular school, there was a procedure that was done that switched the outcome that I had intended to vote for. I had intended to vote for the school because it was a zoning issue. At that point in time, it had met all the requirements, the particular setback, traffic study. According to the zoning, there was nothing that would hinder us from being able to deny them. That is the reason I voted for it. It wasn't because of what was said that the mayor told me that I needed to change my vote. I was always going to vote for it. Now afterwards, because of the way that it looked, the mayor and I, we had a serious discussion about the way that it appeared, the way that people perceived that action. And I let him know that that was wrong the way he presented it, and that I was always going to vote for it, and that he did not change my mind. He did not dictate what I was going to do. Again, I made my vote on sound judgment, what the community wanted, what was said by the SUP requirements. Now, there's legality issues that the city could have been in if we denied a perfectly good SUP for no reason other than the fact that we didn't want it.